Hi beautiful, thank you for clicking on my channel. Today I'm going to be playing with the Wilderness palette from Beauty Bay. Now this was very slightly a bandwagon purchase for me because I had heard people raving about it, and like I knew it wasn't the absolute highest quality, but it was a pretty great palette for 15 bucks. So when I saw that it was restocked, I was like, I already want Age of Opulence. Yes, so I bought them both. But to be fair, I do love the color story in here. Like, it's really well done. It's really pretty. It's just like beautiful colors, beautiful curation, and decent formula. So I'm excited. I did one other look with this so far, and I'm excited to play with it further. So today I'm going to go for an all green halo eye, I think. Anyway, I would love for you to hang out with me while I do so. If you haven't been here before, my name is Rachel. I'm a homeschooling stay-at-home mom, and I don't do much with makeup, but I like colorful eyeshadow. If that interests you, you can like and subscribe, you can comment. You can also find me over on Instagram at Shimmers and Silver. So let's get into the tutorial. I am priming my eyes with the NYX primer in white. Oh my. So I actually woke up with a headache this morning. I feel like, you know how everyone's like 2020 was just the year the world exploded and everyone had a crappy year. Everyone except Raw Beauty Christie. She had a great year. No, for us, 2021 was like that. Like, 2020 didn't affect us a lot. 2021 has been the year of us trying to be responsible and doing everything that you're supposed to do as far as morally and with integrity and just doing what's right, and it just not working out. At least not working out the way that we've expected. And so it's been kind of disheartening and really frustrating. But the Lord has taken care of us. And even though things didn't work out the way we expected them to, they have worked out eventually. That's what I'm expecting in this situation, but it's frustrating in the middle of it, you know? So, anyway, I'm going to do a big, bold eyeshadow look today. It's going to be fun. And it's making me feel better. I literally was dreaming last night about this situation, although my brain had changed it slightly, and I woke up like feeling stressed and having a headache. It's very frustrating. Where is the brush that I need? Okay. I feel like I use like 6 brushes. I have 15 of them, but I use 6. I'm gonna do a halo eye, a green halo eye. I have not done a halo eye up until a few days ago. I had not done a halo eye in ages, months and months and months. And then I got the Raw Beauty Christie at First Sight palette. I was like, halo eye. And now I'm like, ooh, more halo eyes, because they're fun and pretty. And now that my skills are better than they were months and months ago, my halo eye actually looked pretty. I'm taking this brush and I'm going into Eucalyptus. I'm placing that in my outer corner. I always want a V cat eye shape, so when I place my shades, I always have them slanting. When I remember, I have them slanting that direction. Now I don't like my halo eyes to connect in the middle. I like to have that space, so I'm just being careful about placing this shade down. That is such a nice color, just this deep forest green. It's so, like, to me this color is the epitome of the Wilderness palette. Like, this is like mossy green loveliness. Obviously I did not load my brush the same amount. It's funny, I think that after watching videos from Angelica Nyquist, I'm a lot more bold with color, and I dip into the shadows a lot more than I used to. When I first started doing eyeshadow, I started off with monochromatic looks, and then more recently I was like, I really like color, and I like mixing color and color stories and whatnot. And I was watching Angelica's videos, and she just goes right in. And so I started doing that. I literally would load up my brush and then look at it, or look at myself in the mirror and say, like, don't be afraid, it's just color. You know, you can always wash it off if it looks terrible, not the end of the world. If you hate it, or if it looks stupid, you can take it off. It's just eyeshadow. It's a supposed to be creative expression. Okay, that's good. Now I've got this little small blending brush here. Can you see? Yes. Okay. Still dipping into eucalyptus. So, same shade. I'm going on the inner eye now. I think that with halo eyes and hooded eyes, this part right here is very much a matter of preference and anatomy. Like if your eyes are super deep set, I'm sure you can do a halo eye, but you have to consider the shadows. If you have very deep set eyes, at least in my experience, you don't want these two dark colors to be too close together, and you don't want too much of them. So my preference is to go really light on this inner one, like just a little section of color. I like to bring the color higher than my crease. And on the inner corner, I like to start it higher than the crease, so that if I'm looking straight ahead, it's visible even apart from my crease. I'm using the same small brush, making sure it's cleaned off. Oh my word. So this is me just being dorky. It's me being me. Taking that same small brush, and I'm dipping into Leaf, just this light green here. I'm putting on a little bit of product, and always add more, and I'm gonna blend out those dark greens just to soften it and add more depth. So I'll start here on the brow bone, and I'm just blending. I'm looking at this, and I think I want a little bit more of a pointed V. So I'm taking the small brush still, and I'm dipping back into eucalyptus, the dark green, and I'm just going to create that V. I color switched again, back into Leaf with that same brush. I'm going to go back to the blending that I was doing before. I'm kind of going back and forth until they generally match. When I say that I don't like my halo eyes connecting, what I mean is some people will take the dark and merge them in the crease. I don't personally like to do that. I just like them to be on the outer sides and then totally light in the crease. There is one more dark green in here. This one. I'm going to take Ivy on a smaller blending brush, because I don't want it to get out of control. I'm placing in a V shape and then blending out. Alright, I'm ready for shimmer. I have experienced some creasing with Beauty Bay shadows, and I say shadows, not just shimmers. Yesterday I had an all matte blue look, and it did crease on me a little bit. Now, I don't know if that's the shadows, or if it's my primer, or if it's my setting spray. So, I'm going to put down a glitter glue, just to see if it helps. I'm grabbing a flat brush, which is probably the one that I use for the shimmer. I'm just putting the glitter glue on my hand. I don't know how much I'll need. I've literally used this once before. And dipping the brush into the glue. And then I'm putting this wherever I'm going to put my shimmer, which in this case is in the center. There's no shadow, or almost no shadow, on the center of my lid. So I don't have to worry about the brush getting all green. I'm just placing that glue down in all the white space between the colors. You may have suspected, but I'm going to go into Lime, this one, with that flat brush. Most of my collection, up until the last month, has been ColourPop. The ColourPop shimmer formula is different. Beauty Bay is more like BH Cosmetics' new formula, but still yet puttier. But more like clay. I mean, you put it on your brush and can almost paint it in place. It's a beautiful, like, I'm not complaining about the formula, it's just not what I'm used to. And so I have to treat it differently. So So the shimmer is going on all of that center area. I'm putting it on the center first, and then I'll blend it out a little bit later. And I'm not going to dip into the pan and then put the color here, like up high. I'm not going to do that. The color will stay on my lid and then get blended up high. But I don't want like bright lime green right under my eyeshadow, under my eyebrow. I have noticed in recent years, I'm very attracted to greens. Greens to me are peaceful and calming, and I just really, really like green. I always associated the color green with my sister. She has different coloring than I do, and she has always looked good in green. I always looked good in more jewel tones, blues and purples mainly. In the last couple of years, I've wanted to play with green eyeshadow, and I thought, gee, I'll never look good in that color. However, brown eyes look good with basically any eyeshadow color, which is fun. Alright, I'm taking this brush. It's just a small C-shaped brush. It's not flat though, it's a little bit denser, a little bit stiffer. Something really fluffy I don't think will work because the bristles move too much and they don't grab that putty and drag it, which is essentially what blending is. So I'm taking something stiffer, and I'm going to try to blend out this shimmer a little bit. Anyway, what I was saying was, I remember I used to work in a hospital and we wore scrubs, and I bought a pair of green scrubs. It was like Kermit the Frog kind of green. And they made me look so sallow. I mean, I wore them because I only had a few pairs of scrubs, and I had to wear scrubs for work. I wore them, but they were not a flattering color on me. And my sister at that point helped me understand skin tones, undertones. Like, we looked at each other's veins, and I saw hers were more yellow base and then more blue base. And it was a very interesting and eye-opening conversation for me because I started at that point to understand how color works with our skin. And like, I look at my two daughters and they have different coloring. One of them is exactly my coloring, and the other one has more like reddish tones from my husband's side of the family. Her eye color is lighter, and it's just, I know right away that she's not going to look good in the same colors that I look good in. I'm dipping back into lime a little bit and just working it in. Anyway, it was eye-opening for me and very helpful because of those scrubs, I think. And because I never looked as good in forest green as my sister did. I never really did anything with green. I decided to put on green this morning, and I'm like, I don't have any green shirts. I have no idea what shirt I'm gonna wear today. Pretty sure it's gonna be black, because I don't have anything to match this. And as my skills have improved, it's opened the door to wearing green, because I can put green on my eyes, and yeah, it's not the most amazing color. It doesn't pop the way that purple pops on me, but it's still pretty, and it still looks nice. And again, it's just makeup. If it's bad, take it off. It's just a creative expression. Makeup is not supposed to hide who you are. It's supposed to bring out who you are. Just like I tell my daughter, just like wearing earrings or a scarf or putting on nail polish. It's like, this is who you are, and this is how you're expressing yourself. So, I'm gonna put on green eyeshadow. Psychologically, I wonder if I chose green today because I was feeling stressed. And I just said that green is a very calming color for me. Now that would be an interesting study. I'm going back into my blending brush, this little pinched elf crease brush. Okay, now I'm going to do my under eyes with a small fluffy blending brush, taking Leaf, which is this guy here. I'll run that on my lower lash line, making sure that I meet up with the darker colors in this outer corner and blend them together. So using this flat angled brush, I'm taking lime. I'm kind of scraping the shimmers instead of pressing into them, and I'm putting that here. I'm going to take this color, this is Ray, up here. It has a green shift. I'm putting on a very small pencil brush. This is my inner corner highlight. I will say, I have I am so excited that as my skills have improved, when I think of a look or a concept or a color story or scheme or an idea, I'm able to execute it now in a satisfactory way. Whereas before, I would just throw color on my eyes and be like, it's not what I want. I don't know why. They're getting there. I think I will use Ray for my brow bone. I just want a little hint of sparkle up there. I've got a dark green eyeliner. This is from the Lush Life collection from ColourPop. It's Canopy, and I will line my upper and lower waterline. Yep. This is what I wanted to do. Okay. I'm going to put on some black eyeliner. I'll probably do a wing and mascara, and then I'll be back. There's one additional change that I made. After I put on my wing, I decided that because it's a monochromatic look, there wasn't enough definition, or contrast rather, between the dark and the light. So I took a small flat brush and I dipped into Fossil, which is this color right here. And I put Fossil just in the center of my lid space, right here, because I wanted more contrast to make it look more like a halo eye. So we are all done. I did add black eyeliner, I did a wing, and I have mascara on. I decided not to do setting spray today because I'm experimenting to see how the shadows perform on my eyes with my skin without setting spray. Yesterday my mattes creased, so I have the glitter glue, which is an experiment, and then I'm not wearing setting spray, and I just want to see how these shadows look at the end of the day. I'm not complaining. This is a beautiful $15 palette. It might not be the most amazing quality, but it's not bad quality either. So thank you very much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope it was helpful to you. Let me know if you ever follow along and try it yourself. Remember, makeup is not designed to improve, but to enhance who you are. It's fun, it's creative, it's lovely, but it's just makeup. I hope you have a really great day. Thank you again, and I'll see you later. It's 5:21 a.m. Do you know where your children are? Dork. I think it's a brow brush. I think it's a brow brush in the shade Smirk.